we have, this is another strength, a very good system of local, regional, and super regional commercial banks in Texas. We have a good, solid community banking system in Texas. We got devastated in the 80s, and what we came back with is pretty strong. And we didn't do a lot of subprime lending. We didn't invest a lot in securities backed by or linked to subprime mortgages, so our financial system held up pretty well. The other thing is, we didn't overbuild as much as everybody else. I mean, we wrote the book on overbuilding in the 80s. We taught the world how to overbuild in the 80s, but we didn't do it this time. We overbuilt a little bit, but not much. Kind of give you perspective, as again, I don't know if your demographic will talk to you today or later. In round numbers, Texas gains 400,000 folks a year. So maybe 425, 450. The Katrina year was a lower 500, but generally somewhere around 400,000 folks a year, which is an amazing number in and of itself. When you stop and think about it, it's no wonder we were constantly facing the budget crisis and everything else. You figure over 1,000 people a day are added to our population in the state. Day in and day out, year after year after year after year, we're adding over 1,000 people a day to our state economy. Anyway, take 400,000 folks. And then you figure, okay, when you add, pick a number, 2.2, 3, 4, 5, but somewhere around 2.5 people, you need a housing unit of some kind. So we probably need 160,000, 170,000 housing units just to take care of those 400,000 people. And then a few wear out. So maybe we need 175,000, 180,000 housing units a year. Just in the sense that if we did that forever with no fluctuation and the population growth stayed like it was, everything kind of stayed. Well, at the peak of this thing for several years, we built around 210, 215. 215,000 units. So we needed 180, we built 215. And so we overbuilt the market, but that's kind of your garden variety of real estate overbuilding. It's not anything dramatic. Let me take you back to 1983, okay? When we taught the world how to overbuild. Back then we had a smaller population, so if you did my math on how many houses we needed, you'd come up with maybe 135,000. But we didn't build 215, we built 290. So we needed 135, we built 290. So we needed this, we built this. This time we needed this, we built this. So, still overbuilding about nearly as much. And so that helped us not go through as bad a cycle. And once this thing hit, our builders quit building pretty quickly too. They kind of shut it down. We only built 90,000 units in round numbers last year. And we still had 400,000 people come to the state. So we're basically absorbing inventory already in our housing market. So our housing market wasn't as bad. Our banking system was solid. The energy sector gave us a nice boost. And one other thing, we have the best economic development programs in the country. And we continue to see the benefits. Some of the projects that had been started came online during this time. We saw some hiring. We even had a few announcements of new projects that were fairly significant in the middle of all this. In fact, about 40% of all the investment that occurred anywhere in the country occurred in Texas. And so that helped us a lot. So for all those reasons, we were indeed last in, and we were indeed hitting a lot less than other places. I think we're going to be first out. In fact, I can go further and say I think we are first out. Because we started job growth late last year, fairly significantly well, several months before the rest of the country. We managed to sustain it. I think we'll start seeing some pretty decent big numbers coming in here in the next couple of months. And there were, the reasons for that, a couple of them were, number one, energy prices started creeping back up. They never should have been 140. That was wild speculation. They never should have been 30. That was also wild speculation. And now they're coming back up in the 78 range, depending on which day it is and what's going in Greece or whatever. But nonetheless, they're back up. Rig counts have doubled from the trough they were in a year ago. Already they're not back to where they were before. And all the areas not too far from where they have all the Barnett shale gas and Haynesville shale gas. It's not time to drill that stuff yet. Prices of gas has to go a little bit more before we start doing that. But the rig counts on the whole in the state have about doubled. There's some more energy activity, so that's giving us some good boost. The other thing is, during the last recession, the one back in 2001, around that time, we were so slow in coming back here in Texas. The main reason was technology was slow in coming back. This time around, it's a different picture. In fact, I mentioned to you a year ago at this time, things were not so hot. Man, 10 years ago at this time, we were all so happy we couldn't stand it. Because a few months earlier, the world had come to an end. Y'all remember that? Y2K, man, stroke of midnight, year 2000, everything was supposed to happen. Airplanes fall out of the sky, all the commerce shut down, it was going to be a horrible thing. And we were obsessed with Y2K. I remember back in 1999, I bought an electric razor that had a sticker on it that said Y2K compliant. was said and done, Y2K was, we bought all the new technology we needed in 1999. Because everybody wanted their phone systems and their computer systems and all that to be Y2K compliant. If you ran machinery that used a lot of microprocessors, you wanted it to be Y2K compliant. And so everybody bought everything in 1999. Then we have the dot-com bubble burst. We have September 11th. We have the Enron scandal. We go through a pretty difficult economic time. We start to come back. And technology didn't come back very quickly. And Texas is a big technology state. And the reason was, everybody already had everything. Everything was new. They didn't need to buy anything. This time around, all that stuff's over. And as things start coming back, I mentioned equipment spending's been up double digits the last 3 quarters. Equipment, when you buy equipment today, you're basically buying technology. That's what you're buying when you buy equipment today. And consumer spending was up in the Christmas season, still up. It was all I this, I that, I the other, HD this, HD that, HD the other. It was all high-tech stuff, which we make here in Texas. And so that was a significant, it's been a significant boost for us coming back. And of course, our economic development programs continue to pay dividends for us. So it's very safe to say that we're growing. It's going to be an odd year in terms of growth. I'm saying we're going to gain 200,000 jobs or so, but that's December to December. Okay? The year-over-year number's not going to look so hot. Because basically in 2009, we did this. So when you take, if you start here, you end up doing the annual average is about here. Okay? This year we're going to do this. Well, if you start here, you know, here, the annual average is about here. So the annual average isn't going to look that great. Because one year was going down, 1 year was going up, the average is going to hit right in the middle. But in terms of December to December, the dynamic job growth over time, we're going to gain about 200,000 jobs. Output's going to grow about 3.5%, 4%, and we're setting the stage for some better growth. This area certainly outperformed the state and the nation during the recession. I think we continue to outperform the state and the nation. We're forecasting good, solid growth here. Employment gains are starting to happen again now, and you know, we think output growth is going to occur, and basically we think in terms of output growth, we think you'll break 4% this year. And so we feel pretty good about this area going forward. I will abruptly shift at this point to healthcare because I was actually talking about that too. And then I'll just open up the questions and talk about anything you want to talk about. You know, we need healthcare reform. There's absolutely no question. We need healthcare reform. There's no doubt about it. Basically, if you look at the healthcare cost situation, there are a whole lot of issues involved. One is demographics. The two segments of the population that are growing very rapidly right now are kids and older folks. The people who consume the most health care are kids and older folks. Once we get you past all the broken bones and all that stuff of being a kid, you're fairly healthy as here for the next 50 or 60 years. And then you start needing a lot more health care again. And that's the typical pattern. And so the demographics are not working in our favor. Another thing is, we're getting very good at health care. We're getting better and better at healthcare all the time. We can do amazing things with the genomics discoveries and nanomedicine discoveries going on right now. The things we can do are incredible. They're also incredibly expensive. And that plays a role in the cost equation. We continue to see fairly significant growth in pharmaceutical costs because they're getting very good. And I believe in the First Amendment wholeheartedly. But man, since they can advertise, they're good at it. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not. They're really good at it. They create diseases. I'm serious. When I was growing up, shyness was not a disease. What? I mean, you got to be shy for a little while, and your mom said, okay, go talk to those people. Well, now if you're shy, you take Paxil. My understanding is it's a wonderful drug for a lot of different things, but they market it to say, if you're shy, take this and you won't be shy anymore. Okay? Well, okay, take it.